Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. Happy Tuesday. Happy Tuesday. I hope y'all are ready for this show right here. It's gonna be one of them ones right here. This will be one of them ones right here. Well, thank y'all for being here though. This is the Captain's Quarters Show. I am your host, Milliner, where I discuss news, politics, and hot topics. And today we got a hot topic that is blowing up the internet, especially locally here in Montgomery, Alabama. Man, I get started here momentarily. Y'all just give me a little bit, do some maintenance. Let me do some maintenance and then we're going to get started. My goodness. Y'all know this is right up my alley. I kind of was sitting back wondering, like, how should I really cover this? I saw this the first day it was out. People were sending it to me, but I'm like, man, I'm already on that. Already on it. I watched the whole thing and I got so much to talk about. And I know a lot of what I talk about, y'all are going to be in agreement. I know you will be. As y'all come in, man, be sure to hit that like. Be sure to hit the like. Okay, just hit the like. All right, comment as well. I definitely want to see your comments, hear your comments, but hit that like for sure. It helps with the algorithm, so we can make sure a lot of people are able to see the video, man, and so people are educated and informed about what's going on. All right, let's see here. We got a good one here. It's sad we got to even have this conversation though, man. I promise y'all, if I didn't even need to talk about this, if this wasn't a thing for us to even discuss and talk about and debate about and stuff, I'd be fine with that. But unfortunately, here we are. All right, sin is in the world. All right, because sin is in the world, we got hate and we got death and murder and just all type of debauchery. All right, so it's here. We're gonna talk about it. We are going to talk about it. All right. Um, like I said, this is the Captain's Quarter Show. Thank you all for being here. I'm Milliner, the host, and we had a we had a YouTuber, okay, a pretty big YouTuber, come through the city of Montgomery recently. Well, I say recently. The video just dropped about a day ago. It's got like 500,000 views or something like that already. But he probably did this a while back. And it's the YouTuber the Taboo Room with Aaron S. All right, I'm familiar with his work because I've seen him do the same type of video content in Birmingham. He was also in Jackson, Mississippi. So I already know how it's gonna go. Right, this is just the Montgomery version of what they did over there in Jackson, Mississippi, and Birmingham, Alabama. Man, so much happened in this video. What's up, David? Yep. Yeah, you're right about that, man. It's in the Bible. It sure is. Um, y'all, I'm gonna play portions of the video. Okay, it's a 53-minute long video. Y'all go watch it, okay, and be mindful, be aware that there's a lot of cursing in it. Is weapons in the video. They are talking about committing acts of crimes that have been committed, crimes that will be committed. I mean, it's hey, the feds are gonna have a good time with it. I'll tell you that much. They're gonna have a good time with it. I mean, all the feds gotta do is go back and break down the video. You know what I'm saying? To go bust the video down, and they gonna know who said what, who did what, who hangs out where, and all that good stuff. But here we are, man. We are in the age of social media where even the criminals are putting everything out there for you to know about. They don't even care. All right, they have no care in the world. Seemingly, they have no care. But more power to you. All right, more power to you. If you want to tell on yourself, more power to you. I ain't gonna stop you. As a matter of fact, we're gonna cover this right here and get some more eyes on it. So, with that being said, my man David said, "Oh, he did it a few months ago. Okay, that makes sense." Jeremy, it's actually a really good video. It's simple. It's real. People need to stop thinking it's all made up. Oh, it ain't made up. Oh no. I know one of the guys in the video. I know him. Okay, so I ain't gonna point out which one I know, but I know him. As soon as the first minute of the video, I saw that guy. Like, oh man, Lord, why are you still in the streets, my guy? Like, why? We done had conversations about this. We talked about this before. Anyway, man, this is real. I'm telling y'all, this is real. Okay, he was really in Montgomery. He was really talking to people from Montgomery. Yeah, this is what goes on. This is the environment I come from. I grew up around guys like this. This is what I grew up around. So I'm telling y'all, when I talk about these things, what y'all gonna hear in this video, this is what I grew up listening to. So people say, oh, how you know this and why you say that about black people and stuff like that, man. Look, they black. They gonna tell you. Let them tell you. I ain't even gotta say too much of nothing. Let's listen to what they gotta say. How about that? Let's listen to what they gotta say about it. He said, I know a lot of them too. Yeah, I know people probably know everybody. I'm sure people know everybody in these videos. You know what I'm saying? The whole thing. You know? Man. So this is the beginning of the video. Let's check this out right here. Let me bring it in. No. Let's do it like this. There we go. Let's do it like that.
Some niggas this shit go, but shit ain't no bitch. We get wild out here.
15-year-old, 16-year-old could go to a gun show and purchase a gun.
Next thing you know, it's over with.
It's beginning to be outrageous, and now it's no covering it up.
Shot them bullet holes.
I got shot in the face, man. I was 16, man.
It was this big shootout, at the barbershop.
Boom, 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 boom.
One lady left her son in the car.
I'm down. Click, 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 click.
And
all right. Right off the bat. So the guy in the barbershop right here, he said something that I gotta talk about. He said something I gotta talk about. And I know they edited the video down, so I'm sure he explained it. Okay, I'm sure he explained what he said, but they probably just edited that part out. So they got the highlight of what he was saying. He said that 15 and 16-year-olds can go to the gun show and buy guns, right? I don't think that's exactly what he meant. So I'm gonna clarify what he was saying. I'm sure what he was saying, because if he put it like this right here, then he wrong. 15 to 16-year-olds are not going to a gun show and legally buying a gun. All right, they're not gonna go into the venue of the gun show and buy a gun at 15 years old. Okay, that no. What's most likely happening is individuals are going into the gun show and they are of legal age and they buy a gun legally, and then they leave the venue, and then a 15-year-old, 16, 17-year-old, however old, they meet up with them, and then they buy the gun off the person that had the gun legally. That's probably more in line with what's going on, right? But the way it's portrayed in the video is like a 12, 13, 14, 15-year-old can just walk into the gun show and buy a gun. That's not the case. Okay? People need to just, let's make sure that's clear. Let's make sure we're not going off the edge with this stuff. Let's keep it in line. All right. So we got that. Okay. All right. He's a barbershop owner, I believe. And, he has some great things to say, by the way. I do say later in the video, he said some great things about mentorship and whatnot. Let's listen to some more.
was saying you can take the horse to the water, but you can't make him drink it. So
I don't regret nothing I did out here, period. Nothing.
Do you go against the grain? Or do you step back and say, let's make this money?
My brother, you know, no gangster stuff. He still end up dying early.
That's not gonna go away no time soon. You got some people that don't want to see certain demographic of people make it.
I got the presidential lifetime.
Man, so my question would be, what demographic of people are you talking about that don't want to see these people make it? Are you talking about the people that's in their neighborhood? The people that they see and interact with every day? Those people? Because nobody in this video is from a different demographic, okay, that's coming into their neighborhood doing anything. Everybody in this video is of the same demographic that are committing crimes against each other. And they're glorifying it, talking about it as if it's everyday life, normal, nothing new, you know what I'm saying? Nothing out of the ordinary. Like, so what is he specifically talking about? Anyway, interesting. Let's keep going.
Just got to Montgomery in Alabama, which is the capital. I've been here for about an hour and it feels like I've gone back 20 years in time. Most buildings are boarded up. There's not a lot of resources from what I've seen in my short time here already. I'm going to spend the next 2 days interviewing rappers and gang members because the neighborhoods within this city are one of the most violent amongst the whole country. You all right, bro? What's the name?
My name Doobie, K Cartel.
Pat 10.
J Murder, you feel me? I'm from Montgomery, Alabama.
Dre with the 30.
Real, feed, pay, real, y'all know what's going on.
On Dre Dot with the 30, man.
Drip the engineer.
What about SB Torn, y'all? Real Crescent City.
Kobe, A4, KD, Chef Dre.
Rodney.
Squeeze so.
Where are we at the moment?
Man, GV, Kia Village.
Mr.
Q Block. Kia Village. Though you out here in the hood right now. Killville, man.
You call it.
All right, so y'all heard it right there, man. Y'all heard it. Y'all heard him. Y'all heard what the guy, the host said, the YouTuber. All right, y'all, he ain't from here. You can hear by his voice. He from across the water somewhere, UK or something. He ain't from Alabama, so he coming into Montgomery. He's telling you straight up what he sees, what it feels like in the city. He said, "Man, it feel like I'm 20 years in the past." You know what I'm saying? Boarded up houses. It don't look like the Capitol. You know what I'm saying? And then they talking about the crime and stuff already. Like it's rough. We're in a rough place. Yeah, we sure are. Even the guys in the streets can tell you. They tell me I'm talking negative about the city and the mayor and stuff, like as if it's really not reality. The guys in the video that's out here living the life that we're talking about, we need to change. They're telling you it's worse. It's real rough out here. Oh man. All right, let's fast forward a little bit. Because there's some things that said in the video. Let's watch some of these news clips. Let's watch some of these news clips of some of the shootings.
That's why it be so many killing and shooting. Back doing their homeboy shit. It don't never be nothing to do.
Here you coming to.
This ain't the playground.
You don't come and feel the real life standing out here.
A shooting on Meadow Ridge Lane.
Death of their daughter.
A Montgomery woman is dead and the person who pulled the trigger is still on the run.
19-year-old Kamari Gorman is charged with murder.
Montgomery police confirm a triple homicide.
Taylor and 3 others beat and stabbed the girl, then left her to die in a creek.
Shot and killed at a convenience store in South Montgomery.
One man is dead following an overnight shooting in Montgomery County.
And they're talking about the success of one program.
Leaders are boasting a decrease in crime rate here in Montgomery. Teenagers are arming themselves and stealing cars, but the Max unit is helping. In less than 100 days, the team has seized 195 guns and 51 stolen cars.
Kill each other.
All right. Woo, boy. Let me go back. I want y'all to see like these news clips, right? In all these news clips they just showed you, who are the perpetrators of the crimes of murder, homicide, kidnapping, and all that, and who are the victims? What do they look like? What do they look like? Did they just show you white folks kidnapping black people and put them in trunks? Did they show white people shooting down blacks? Everybody's black. They're shooting these people and killing these people. This is what we all know to be true. We all know that to be true, but and they're putting this in a very small, short video, and they're just showing you who's doing what, right? They're showing you who's doing what. Let's keep it going. Oh, hold on. Oh, what's up, loser? What's up, man? Appreciate you being here. My guy from DC. I'm back on here, man. I'm streaming on YouTube as well, so that's what he on YouTube watching me. What's up, man? Thanks for being here. Marshall Gold said, yes, we heard it. Yeah, we're talking about the Taboo Room with Aaron S. YouTuber. He goes around doing these street interviews in different cities, and he came to my city, I guess like a couple months back or whatever. And so I'm just kind of reacting to the video of what was said in the video, what we saw, and all that good stuff, man. Because you know, I talk about politics and crime and education and all that all the time, and people think that I'm lying and making up stuff. And here we are, live and direct. I'm reacting to a video of things that were said right here in the city on this video. Okay, so it's a reality. Okay, crime is real, and we see who's committing the crime. All right, let's keep going, man. Let's keep it going. I don't want to go through all the meat of everything, but let's get to more of the end.
To do it right. Maybe I don't never see it done, but maybe one of them get it done. 1, 2, 3. We keep living for today. That's why tomorrow we struggle. Looking for this missing piece of that American puzzle. We gotta know that it's a plan for us to keep killing each other. I'm a reflection of you look like you came from my mother. They pay rappers to influence us to kill one another. But I never ever kill my brother, man. What's going on? So that was that little piece, man. And I wrote that to y'all so y'all realize and recognize that you killing your brother, that was a strategic plan for us to keep killing each other. And we gotta make sure only way we're gonna stop killing our enough is enough. Because today it might be my brother, but tomorrow it might be your brother. So how we stop that? Let's put them guns down, bro. So we mentor youth through arts, education, entrepreneurship, and workforce development, man, trying to help keep young people out the streets, keep them out of gang and street life activities.
How have you found that work so far? Do you think it's been successful, unsuccessful?
Oh yeah, man. You know, we win some, we lose some, man. But for the most part, it's a win. We got a young entrepreneurship incubator where they get to run their own business. And so we got a lot of wins. You know, we have some losses where we have to bury some students, you know, because someone can't lead a street life alone or whatever. But we have a lot of students that graduate from college. I just take those wins and losses all together, man, and make it work.
And why do you think the violence is now so bad within Montgomery itself?
One thing that is really, really bad here is the music. I feel like the music, that was influencing us, the young people, right? So who raising these kids? The streets. And when the streets raising them, what they got rap music, right? And rap music, all they see, them they role models now. So they got rap guys, they got the guns, they got the girls, and they got the money. And that's all we have. And those are our role models, right? You hearing it?
Yep, man. Charles Lee. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Appreciate you for keeping it 100 on that, because these guys who are committing these crimes, or the guys who's rapping about the crimes and all that type of stuff, they're not singing gospel rap. They're not doing Christian rap. Okay, they're not glorifying Christ and God and stuff in the music. The music is literally speaking death. Literally. All right, the power is in the tongue, right? And so they're speaking out of their heart, what's in their heart through the music. And it's talking about assault, homicides, robbery, kidnapping people, selling drugs and poison to their communities. That's what's being talked about in the music. They're sowing seeds of death in the music. And then they end up dead. And then people cry and wonder why are they dying in such high numbers? They're sowing these seeds in the music because that's what's in their heart. All right, what's in the heart comes out of the mouth. Man, but he's telling y'all. He's telling y'all.
That music on any other genres of music, we the only ones that kind of glorify this music. Every time we turn on social media, somebody just got shot. It's beginning to be outrageous, and now it's no covering it up. Like everybody's starting to see it, you know.
And you think drill music?
That's right. That's right. And then they'll get to this part. He asked them about drill music, okay? And then basically all these guys went through and talked about, yeah, it plays a part. And then this one guy, he says, well, in Montgomery, we had different types of music. We got hustling music, trap music, drill music. We got different types. So we're not as heavily focused on drill music. And while that's true, the problem is the hustler music, the trap music, the gangster music, the drill music, it's all the same thing. It all has the same message, right? It all has the same message. It's all negative. It's all low vibration music. It's all death, robbery, selling drugs, going to the club, leaving with a different woman every night. Like that's what's being talked about. It's like chanting the same chant over and over and over again. And after so long, if a child's listening to this, a child 9, 10, 11, 12 years old is listening to this music, and they living in the environment where these guys come from, they're thinking they got to do that. They're more inclined to do it because they live in the environment. And now they're listening to music that's further perpetuating the acts that they're talking about. I mean, this is like no brainer, but people got the audacity to say music had nothing to do with it. Okay, all right. So how many people that listen to classical music go commit crimes to classical music? How many people that listen to rock and roll are going to commit crimes to rock and roll? Most guys who go and commit crimes are listening to rap like Chief Keef, Lil Baby, and whoever the guys are nowadays. All right, whatever these rappers, whoever they are, these guys. Okay, they're listening to that music, and then they're going out here and committing crimes because the music is talking about it. Oh man! All right. Let's keep going. There's a part in this video, man. I promise y'all, when I saw it, man, it hurt my heart, man. It literally hurt my heart. I'm gonna get to that part. It hurt my heart to see that, and that's really the main, a big reason why the streets are what they are. But let's keep on watching some more of these clips.
To me, that shit like my real life. You feel me? Like we just, you feel me? This ain't no drill music to me. If you ask me.
Do you think drill music is good for society?
I ain't gonna lie, I fuck with it, but hell nah, I'm gonna be for real.
The drill music, that shit pumping these niggas up. Like,
yeah.
We want to do that.
What's drill music?
It's like music, I guess, talking about murder.
I really too much don't care for it because honestly, I think it's stupid. Rapping about stupid stuff as far as murder and killing is senseless, and the artists that doing it, they senseless. The music is art, but if you paint it or deliver it the wrong way, it can be chaos and catastrophe.
Do you think drill music is good for society?
Hell yeah, it like the drill music, it wouldn't do.
It's really however you take it. It's however you take it. Like everything based on how you take it. Yeah, it's just how you.
It's a mind thing.
Like when we go back to the one thing we said, respect.
Man, y'all tell me what everybody look like. Look at this video. Tell me who like what you see. I mean,
if you let drill music, determine who you is or what you do with your life, they tell a lot about who you is.
And Charles, talk to me about the plan, your book.
Yeah, so that's the newest book, man. I got.
All right, shout out to Charles Lee. Let's see what else we got going on.
And I speak back to you, but it's not in Alabama, it's everywhere. I was in the military for 13 years, and we did training in Indianapolis, a little white boy said, mommy, they're black. They're black. And we was in uniform. Our army uniform, yes.
That's not gonna go away no time soon. You got some people that don't want to see certain demographic of people make it.
Yeah, that shit don't never stop everywhere. It's everywhere. I just went out to eat the other day. See, the white folk gonna look at you how they look at you either way it go though. You feel me? They don't mean mug, you do all type of shit. Just they be wanting the shit back how it used to be.
All right, man. Let's talk about it, because the question was, do they think racism is still a problem, or does it still exist? Whatever. Okay. Let's talk about this, man. Let's talk about this. I'm gonna come back to the video. I promise. I'm gonna come back to the video. Let's talk about. He said he walks into a restaurant and the white people see him and they mean mug him and they look at him a certain way because they feel like because he's black he doesn't belong, or he's a criminal automatically and all that. I guess that's the mentality he's trying to say, right? Young man, black folks look at you the same way that you saying the white folks look at you. Black folks see you coming and they looking like, if you looking like how you look in this video, they looking at you like, man, I don't know what he might do. He might come rob me, shoot me, whatever the case. It ain't no white person thing. That's a regular human being thing. When you look a certain way, when you depict yourself in a certain manner, people are going to look at you and they're going to judge based on how you appear to be, right? Because we're wired to do it. It's instinct. So we want to remain safe at all times, right? So when we're walking down the street and it's nighttime and you see a group of guys like y'all in the streets, most rational people are not going to walk straight through y'all. Like, they're not going to continue walking on that path. Most people, it don't matter if they're white, black, Asian, purple, green, polka dot, it makes no difference, right? Because what they see is a potential catastrophe waiting to happen. Could be a tragedy waiting to happen. So they're not going to continue. Talking about this racism thing, man, everybody in this video look the same to what y'all say. Y'all call them black. You know what I'm saying? Everybody in the video is black, so why are we talking about racism? There ain't a white person in the video. Where are the white people at? Everybody in the video is perpetuating a certain lifestyle. White folks ain't included in this at all. I mean, where at? Maybe you got a white guy holding the camera. He ain't talking. These black folks talking for themselves. Last time I checked, everybody in this video, aside from one individual y'all gonna see in a little bit, everybody in the video is grown. So they think for themselves. They got a mind of their own. They can express themselves. Some of them better than others. But they can express and tell you what they are living and what they're about. And they ain't not white. This is, boy, y'all gotta stop talking about racism like that's an out. Stop giving them an out. When you make bad decisions, you get bad consequences. That's it, period. When you make bad decisions, you get bad outcomes. Let's get back to the video.
Dark skin with the house versus the field and all that type of stuff. It still goes on today mentally. Like, it's a lot of us, like, we're screwed up mentally, and a lot of people don't know that.
But I would tell the young guys, like, what you want your future to be. Before you jump off the porch, what you want? You want to die, you want to go to prison, or you want to be successful? What you want to do, because before you get off of here, I can already tell you what this lane is about to get you. You might get some money right now, you might get some cars. I've been there and done that, and I suffered the consequences. Shot and jail, you know what I'm saying?
Hey, oh, come here. Come here. He finna talk some shit to you niggas. He on it. Is you on it?
All right, man. All right. All right. Here the part right here, y'all. Here's the part right here. Oh, let me get this thing right here straight. Okay. Let's go back. Let's go back.
Some cars. I've been there and done that, and I suffered the consequences. Shot and jail. You know what I'm saying?
So what y'all gonna see happen is you're gonna see these grown men call over a child. They gonna call a child over. Let's watch what happens when they call this child over. Ain't no white man involved in this. How many people are gonna talk about this right here? I can't be the only one. Let's see what happens when nobody that's white is involved. Let's see what happens in this clip.
Hey, oh, come here. Come here. He finna talk some shit to you nigga. He on that. Is you on that?
I'm on it.
Every day?
Every day.
Ready to get on that when you get old too, ain't?
Yep.
Oh, see, though they on. Hey, look. Though they on.
Bun.
Hey, we ain't teaching them none of this shit. We ain't telling them to say none of this shit.
So you ask what we got to say to it. Get out this shit before you can. Cause when you get too deep in this shit, ain't no coming up out this shit.
All right, hey yo, boy, that right there is a big reason why these kids are committing the crimes that they're committing. That's the big reason why these kids are dropping out of middle school, high school. They don't have a GED. They get locked up at 15 years old, 12 years old and stuff. Is that when they called that little boy over there, did they call that little boy over there and give him some words of knowledge, some words of wisdom, some you know what I'm saying, some encouragement? Did they give him any of that? They called this little boy over there. He about 12, 13, 14. I don't know. He might be a small 14. He a little bitty boy though. Called him over there and then said, hey, you on that? You on that? They're not talking about, are you on that making straight A's? Are you on that getting your homework done? Are you on that minding your mom and your daddy? Are you on that minding your teachers and your principal and assistant principal and all the staff at your school and other kids in the classroom? Are you on that? They ain't what they're talking about. We know that ain't what they're talking about. They talking about, are you on that you'll slide on your op if you got to? Are you on that you ain't gonna take no disrespect and you willing to die about it? Are you on that? And then the little boy, yep, I'm on that. Of course. And he said some words I ain't gonna repeat, but y'all heard it. Y'all can go back and watch it. A white person wasn't involved in none of that. How many people are going to talk about that clip out of this whole video? They're going to talk about the racism, the colorism that was mentioned, the guns at the gun show, kids can buy the guns and all that. They're going to talk about all that. But are they going to talk about the grown men, the grown black men calling over a little black boy and further perpetuating the lifestyle of criminality? Are they going that they instilled in him, that they're affirming in him? Is anybody gonna talk about that? Am I the only one? Boy, that right there, man, had me hot. All right, let's get him off the screen.
Bro, you can go to school, bro. You can go to college. Ain't nothing wrong with going to college. You feel me?
Stay in sport, man.
Whatever don't jump on the court. If you ain't ready to take no shots or get on that for real, bro, stay over where you at.
I ain't even gonna say nothing about getting shot.
Stay doing your
just
thing,
stay out
bro.
the way for real.
I feel like people can always jump on the porch. I feel like violence gonna always keep going.
And real quick, the guy that they just showed, right? The guy they just showed, he
get on that for real, bro. Stay over where you at.
I ain't even gonna say nothing about getting shot.
Stay doing your
just
thing,
stay out
bro.
the way for real.
I feel like people can always jump on the porch. I feel like
so. This guy right here in the video, he explains that he came to Montgomery to attend college. He's basically trying to be the example for his siblings. He talked about his siblings. He wanted to be the one that can show them a different way, a different route. So he added a lot of value to the video because he's somebody who seemingly is trying to do the right thing and trying to better educate himself and get somewhere in life. And he's trying to be an example for his siblings. and his mama and daddy and whoever else where he came from. He's trying to say, I'm gonna be the example. I'm gonna lead by example. So he's one of the few in the video that's actually talking some sense.
Violence gonna always keep going.
I mean, my advice would be to them, try to find a positive role model, somebody you can look up to and model yourself behind. Like, you gotta have something that pushes you. You know, you can't just be out here without a plan. You know, if you fail to plan, then you plan to fail.
And that nigga trick you to be like, oh God, that ain't cool to go tote the gun, cool to shoot shit up, and cool to do this and that. The coolest thing they ever do was gangster to take care of your family, bro, and take care of the people around you, bro. That's the gangster
money.
Shit
That's the most gangster shit
ever.
ever.
Gangster talking about shooting up big damn thing, killing folks and shit. Gangster shit you can do to take care of your family.
Don't do it, man. Selling drugs, jumping in the game, not listen to your parents, thinking you're grown when you're not. Man, it's not good at all.
Don't be a crash dummy. You rarely make it out alive. But if you choose that life, that fast money, there's an end to it. It's either death or jail.
Don't let no nigga play with your life, you value your life, murking it. Cause get what, I'm pretty sure your mama gonna want you to come back and hug her and talk to her, and you have your family, you live on with your family. So if that shit end up taking you to the penitentiary, go ahead.
Don't jump out the porch. Do not jump out. That shit is not cool, man.
Best thing you can do is go to school, man.
Go to school, get your education. Please get your education.
There's never nothing wrong with going to school. There's never nothing wrong with getting a job.
I'm a dropout.
Like,
I dropped out twice.
you know, you gotta normalize.
When I was old enough to drop out, I did that shit, but I still regret it to this day.
Like,
Cause I can't do nothing for real without knowing, you feel me? Get your education. I'm gonna go back and get my GED now. To all my fans, all my true supporters, do the right thing. Go to school, please, and always keep some money in your pocket.
Man, I mean, awesome. I love hearing it. I love hearing that. But are you rapping that in your songs though? Like, I don't know who this guy is. I have no idea. You know what I'm saying? No disrespect. I don't know who that is. But people that listen to the guy's music, is he rapping about what he's talking about in this video right now? Like this little clip? Is he rapping about that, or is he rapping about stuff that he said earlier in the video? Right? Because earlier we were talking about, you know, doing all kind of activities. All right, that ain't got nothing to do with working, got nothing to do with being no daddy, got nothing to do with going to school, getting educated, got nothing to do with none of that. So which is he promoting in his music? And that's the problem. If you're promoting positivity, then remember I said earlier, what's in the heart comes out of the mouth. So when you're making music, that's your passion. That's what you are about, right? So if all your music or 95% of what you talk about is negative, right? Selling drugs and shooting people, robbing people, and sleeping with different women every night and stuff. If that's what you make 95% of the time, man, that 5% of the time that you talk about going to school, get educated, man, that ain't got nothing. That ain't doing nothing. That's not doing anything. All right, you need to flip it. All right, you need to flip it. So I'm just saying, I would guess that I'm correct in saying 95% of what he talking about is negativity. If I'm wrong, I'll admit it. Y'all send me some music or something and show me different. But otherwise, I think I'm correct in what I'm saying. Let's keep it rolling.
At Grainger, we have over 1 million products, including the ones that help keep your workplace.
Y'all come support us.
Man, tell them folks how we doing out here, man, for real, man. I'm gonna hear out there. Long live VNB, long live GBQ, long live Sosa, long live TV.
Long live the game, man.
We really on 1900 for real, man. 1900 block, man.
Smacking shit real life,
man.
Hey, cartel versus everybody.
All right, y'all heard, y'all. Let's talk, man. So people who don't understand the lingo. People who don't understand the lingo. When the guy said smacking, all right, he said we smacking-ish. Smacking is slang for murdering, killing somebody, okay? That's what that is. The people who are watching this, all the federal people, law enforcement, they understand that already. They know what the lingo is. So when you saying you smacking, that's what that means. Right? Why would you get on here and say you smacking ish? I mean, you did it, so it's out there now. But that's the type of stuff, man. That's what they is that a white guy? Is that a white man that just said that? Is anybody in this clip white? Anybody? Nope. Nope, not at all. Ain't no white person in the video talking about he's smacking ish.
Thank y'all, sir.
Go to school. Listen, go to school. Go look at that. Cause if you trying to do this street shit and you bump head to a like me, smack your ass. Like no listen. Listen, you gonna get your ass white going to get this shit. Go check out that Pet 1010 talk. Mama come busting outside and shit. You feel me? I was in prison. My mama come outside dumping the chop at these ass. You feel me? This shit.
Man, I can't lose no more brain cells. I can't lose no more brain cells listening to that. Y'all. Let me make sure I get that off of here so I don't want that popping up by accident. Okay, there we go. Y'all. This should put it on display. This should put on display what we all know to be true. What I've been talking about for so long. It's just what I've been talking about for so long, man. But when I say it is I'm being negative. All I do is talk about the black community, and I don't talk about, no white folks doing whatever, man. White folks ain't got nothing to do with this video right here, man. This is what I'm talking about. This is what I discuss all the time. And people want to say that I'm being unfair in what I'm saying. They said it. They said it. Y'all just want to ignore it. Y'all want to act like this is not reality. What's up, John Phillips? He said, I spent several years working with violent juvenile offenders from places like Oakland and Chicago. Most of our kids, 90+%, had the option to go to our program or adult prison. The kids in this video are an accurate depiction of the mindset of the kids we work with. It's hard for most of us to wrap our heads around the idea that this logic could be reality. But after spending a few years living with these kids day and night and getting a good look at the environment that shaped their thinking for the 16 or 17 years before we got them, it's easier to understand how they got there. The short story is these kids have been failed on multiple levels. Yeah. Yeah. And the white man ain't had nothing to do with it. All right. Yep, Loser said stay on. Yeah, man, I'm mainly on YouTube and Facebook, man. Appreciate you being here. Shannon said he's telling the truth 100. The music resonates with their life now. That's why it pulls people to it, but it doesn't speak on how to come up and be the change. The positive messages aren't pumping out of the speakers. All right. Okay. It's all negative. Yeah. So it's not what they go to first. They gonna feed you the poison and then give you a little bit of candy on the side. You know what I'm saying, to make it, or they gonna put what they say they gonna put a little candy in the poison kind of thing. They gonna put a little candy in the poison. They poisoning you, but they put a little candy in there and give it a little flavor. Let's see here. You don't see a lot of classical music psychos running around. Yeah, for real. For real. You don't see that? Let's see here. He said, I'm not being unfair. Sometimes the truth hurts. The public school system is run by Democrats, and it has failed them. Yep. He said he was laughing at the white guys holding the camera. Hey, probably a white guy holding the camera. Probably a white guy holding the camera, but there ain't no white person in that video telling them to do anything. There ain't a white person in that video telling them guys to sell drugs, to shoot nobody, smack nobody. None of that stuff they talking about doing. White man got nothing to do with it. I've been trying to tell people, man. I've been trying to tell folks, man. We got to turn this thing around. We got to turn it around. But we need the local government here in Montgomery to call this out for what it is. To be honest and stop trying to hide statistics and hide the facts of the violence in the city. And who's committing the violence? We know who's committing the violence. We know it. You know what I'm saying? And people want to jump to the judges and say that it's the judge's fault. There again, that come back to us. It still come back to us because we're putting them in position. We're putting the judges in position. We put the DA in position. We put these different people in position. So last time I checked, the same judges, a lot of them are still on the bench from back before Mayor Reed got in office in Montgomery. They was already sitting on the bench. So their mentality and their ideology has not changed. So they were giving guys light sentences 15 years ago. 15 years ago, 10 years ago, 8 years ago. Guys were committing violent crimes and getting slaps on the wrist. That's been going on. There's nothing new. Everybody that keep on saying about the judges, that's nothing new. But what is new to the city is we had a new mayor in the last 5 years. And it correlates with the rise in violence in the city. That's the only thing that changed. That's really the only thing that changed. The laws are pretty much the same. No, there was no huge law changes or something like that that happened right before Reed got in office or right after he got in office. It's just he got in office. And here we are. Let's see here. Grady Dozier said, "Where are you announcing your mayoral candidacy?" I'm not doing that, man. God has not put that on my heart to do that. And to be real, it's two things that I always go back to, and it has proven to be a fact. Number one, you got to have funding. Okay, if you don't run for any political office, talking about mayor, talking about governor and stuff, you got to have money, you got to have funding. Okay, I don't have funding like that. Then number two, you got to have face value. Face value, what I mean by that is when people see you, either your face or your name, they know who you are. Like widespread, people know who you are. You know, for example, Mayor Reed, people knew who Mayor Reed was before he ran. Okay, his daddy, because of that name, and then he was the probate judge for so long. Then you had David Woods that ran against Mayor Reed in 2019. People knew David Woods because he's the guy who owns Fox, you know what I'm saying, the local Fox station or whatever. So people knew him, like he had face value too, and he had funding as well. You know, same thing for Barrett Gilbert when he ran against Reed this last time. Now face value, I don't know if he had that necessarily because I mean I didn't know who he was prior to that, but he had the funding, you know, so he was able to make up ground based on the funding. But now maybe if he come back around again, he'll have more face value because he ran last time, so people will kind of know who he is. But me, nah. People don't know who I am, and you know I'm just a guy that's doing. As somebody put it the other day, I was doing a summit, and a lady came up to me and was like, you know, you doing your little podcast or whatever, you know, my little podcast. You know what I'm saying? It's a little podcast. So who am I to run for a mayor seat or whatever, right? People don't know who I am, and I'm not going to waste people's time. Anyway, I despise people who run for office because they're doing it for clout, or they're doing it because they want to get their name out there or help their business, get their business off the ground or something. I despise stuff like that. If you're gonna do it for the right reason. Of you want to run and better your city or better your state or better your community. That's what it should be about. And people don't do that. I despise it, and I'm not finna run when I know I can't win, and I'm gonna take votes away from if it's only 100 people, I'm gonna take votes away from the wrong, from the good candidate, person we need. Yes, this is all in Montgomery. Yes, it was. Who asked that question? Yes, loser. I see you. Yeah. That's all. Yeah, Montgomery, man. I think it's about the video. Yeah, the video is from Montgomery. Misha Sanders said, although what we are watching here is sad, it started from long ago with systematic racism. We can sit and compare apples and oranges all day, but where did the mindset start? I'm glad you asked that question. I hope you're still watching. Misha Sanders, I hope you are watching right now. So I'm going to break it down for you. So, racism don't have a thing to do with what we just watched on that video. All right? There ain't a white person in the video. Matter of fact, right? I said it earlier. Maybe it's a white man holding a camera or holding a microphone or something, but outside of that, everybody in that video is black. Okay? Now, systematic racism. If you ask 10 people to explain what systematic racism is, you're going to probably get about a good 7 different answers of what it is, because people don't know. People just make up stuff as they go. All right? They make it up as they go. I'm sure if I ask Misha what it is, whatever she tell me, I can ask 5 other black people what is systematic racism, and they going to tell me 5 different answers. Okay? Now, what I will say that's caused what, because you said, where did the mindset start, right? If you look back in history, all right, I'm a history buff, so I've done my research, heavy research into this. And if you look to the end of slavery, 1865, go all the way back then, right? 1865, okay? Prior to 1865, the Republican Party started in 1854, all right? And I just made a post on my page. You can go to my page on Facebook and go down maybe 4 or 5 posts ago or something. I made a post and I was showing black Republicans in the state of Alabama. Back in the 1860s, we had black Republicans representing the state of Alabama. Back then. All right? Go. You need to read that article that I posted. But so I say that to say, black people have always been part of the Republican Party, the foundings of it. Okay? Now, from the time of the end of slavery, 1865, all the way for about a good 100-year history to 1965-ish, okay, black people had some of the highest rates of married households. All right? This is known. This is documented. You can go back and look it up. It's there. Okay? People love to make it seem like black people just always just being poor and broke and messed up. All right? And killing each other and stuff. No. There was a long history in America of black people owning businesses, being doctors and lawyers, and raising families, okay, and not having high rates of crime in their communities. There's a history of that after slavery, okay? So what people want us to believe is, so the problems of slavery skipped that generation, all right, that 100 years of black people doing the right thing and having families and low crime and better education. The slavery mentality of colorism and all that violent stuff, that skipped that generation and then came back in the 70s, is what people want us to believe. That ain't how that works. All right. What happened as a result of why it went from slavery to about a good 100 years of family and education and doing the right thing and low crime, being productive, married households, it went from that to, gotta remember this, Go look up the history. The civil rights movement started in the 60s, right? About the mid 60s. Okay, we had laws and acts happen 65, 68, and all that, right? And then after that, you had what? The federal government came in there and gave welfare, did they not? And when they did the welfare, all right, under Lyndon B. Johnson, who was a Democrat, he was a Democrat president, all right? They said, look, we finna get these black people voting for a Democrat. This is how we gonna do it. We know they got strong families and all that good stuff. They are intact. They are rocking and rolling over there. In order to disrupt that and to keep them needing us, the government, what the Democrat Party said was, and what they did is they said, we're going to create the Great Society Act and we're going to push this welfare and we're going to tell these women, in order for you to get help from the government, in order for you to get housing and food and education and all this good stuff from the government, you can't have no man in the house. You got to get rid of that husband. Okay, we're going to take the place of your husband. All right? And the women said, okay. And here we are. Broken families is how we got to this mindset. Because what happened was men left and the women took over. And when women take over the households, you have little boys running the streets. Sorry, not sorry. That's just reality. That's just reality. A woman cannot teach a boy how to be a man. Just like a man can't teach a little girl how to be a woman. Right? We have to work in tandem with each other. That's how it was created by God. And so here we are, broken families. Now we got the dads out of the house. Well, now we have higher crime, lower educated kids, and you know they turn to a life of crime rather than doing things the right way. Because there's no structure, there's no discipline. Okay, that's in a nutshell. That's it. Let's see. Misha said, yes, that's right. We had many thriving businesses like Black Wall Street. Yeah, that's a fact. It's a fact. And also, when people on that point right there, people want to say that white people destroyed Black Wall Street, and that was the end of it. That's not true. That is not true. You can look it up. It's documented. There was a big fight that happened, okay? Big fight happened. It did get destroyed. Guess what happened, though? About a good 5 years or so after that, they got destroyed in the fire bombings and all that stuff. They built it back up. And for about a good 20 years or so, after it got destroyed, Black Wall Street got to the best it had ever been. And then what happened? Civil rights movement happened. The blacks went from a mentality of we're able to have our community be safe, be educated, all this good stuff, no low crime. And then the leaders came, all right, the Martin Luther Kings came and all these other people came, Rosa Parks and all these people came, and the NAACP, and said, yo, black folks, man, don't y'all want to have what the white folks got? We know y'all doing y'all, you know what I'm saying? But this black though, let's go over there to the white folks and let's live in their world. Cause let's go to their schools and stuff, man. This ain't right that we over here in our little area. Let's go over there to their area. And from that, them black folks left Black Wall Street. They gave it up. Black folks gave it up. That's how that went down. They deserted what they had built. They deserted it for integration. That's what happened. You know what I'm saying? That's what it was. And I always ask this question right here. How come when they did integration, how come the black kids and the black adults always had to go into the white areas? Y'all ever noticed that? Like, anybody ever wondered why integration only happened in one way? Where's the stories of the white kids going to black schools? You know what I'm saying? And here's my theory on that. I believe that they chose to do it a certain way because they wanted it to backfire in a certain way, right? When you integrate any group of people that don't typically, get along or like each other, right? Like, let's say you can have a high school that's on the same side of town with another high school, and all the kids look the same. They all black, right? And one of them high schools closed, and them kids go to the other high school who they were a rival against. Okay, they're in different neighborhoods, so they're rivals because they're in opposing neighborhoods, and now and then opposing schools. But now you put them all in one school. What's gonna happen? The individuals in the high school now, they're clashing because you're forcing them together when they don't like each other. Okay, so it ain't about color, it's about the mentality of being against something else or somebody else. So likewise, when it came to the civil rights movement, they only put the black kids into the white areas, or the black adults into the white adults area, because the government knew that it would be animosity and cause problems. So what they did was they benefited off of that. They were able to benefit off of that. It made the white people look bad. It made the whites look like they're the only ones that feel animosity, when in reality, both sides were feeling a little some animosity because the government already set it up to be this way. The government set it up. The Democratic South split up blacks and whites, and they put up all these signs saying white only this, black only that. Whites can only sit in the front of the bus, blacks in the back of the bus. The government did that. The Democratic government did that. They already created the animosity, and then they gonna come on the back end and they gonna put in the white folks black folks into the white areas, and then watch the whites get mad, and then they capitalize off of that. That's why they did it that way. In my humble opinion, looking at the history, reading up on it, and I don't see nobody ever mention this. Like I've never heard anybody mention what I'm talking about. Why it happened one way? Why wasn't it a two-way street? Because blacks had their own stuff too. Why not put whites into that? I ain't had nobody explain it to me. I brought this up before, and nobody, I don't think anybody thought about it. But everything is set up. Everything is set up by design. Like, stuff don't happen on accident. You know what I'm saying? This ain't accidentally happen. You know what I'm saying? People are meaningfully, purposefully doing things to set things up for down the road when they're able to, change their mindset, or so-called change their mindset. But they already know how it's going to be, what the reaction was going to be. So they're ready for that too. They're ready for the reaction. You know what I'm saying? Man, Democratic Party is something else, boy. I'm telling y'all something. Look at the history too. The Democratic Party has always been on the wrong side. Always been on the wrong side. People want to say politics don't have nothing to do with education and crime and all. Lie. That's a lie. That's a lie. Politics plays a huge part in the level of education the kids get, and who's committing the crimes and how much crime is happening. Politics plays a huge role, because without the democratic policies of separating the family, we wouldn't even be in this mess we in right now. And I know Kevin Elkins, when I was on his radio show, he told me, oh man, nobody made the black man leave the black woman. No, I'm not saying they did. But what they did do is come in there and give her an option. They came in and said, hey, we know y'all got men, but we can take place in them. We can make sure you got free food and free housing and free this and free that. But just get rid of that man. You don't need him. It's like Satan. Like how when Satan came to the garden and Adam and Eve and was like, yo, Adam, don't you want to be like God? And you know what I'm saying? Go on and eat that fruit, man. I mean, and he like, no, I ain't doing that. My God said, no, that ain't cool. He told me not to do that. All right, well, fine. I go holler at the woman then. Eve. Don't you want to be like God? You know what I'm saying? Don't listen to that man. That man trying to control you. You're an independent woman. Make your own decision. You know what I'm saying? And then she was like, okay, cool. And then she took it. That's what the government did. The government came in, and instead of going to the man and saying, yo, we'll give you this and that, they was like, man, forget the man. We already know he ain't going to be with it. Let's go over here and holler at this woman. And she and all the women pretty much took him up on it. And we went from having black households, 80% married households. Now it's like 25%, 30%. It's like 72, 75% of children in the black community are from single parent mothers. And that ain't by accident. That ain't by accident. Republicans did not do that. I don't care what Shamar Figures got to say about it. I don't care what Terry Sewell got to say about it. I don't care what Anthony Daniels got to say about it. I don't care what Philip Insler got to say about it. I don't care what any of these Democrats got to say about what I'm talking about. They are liars if they say different. You can look it up. It's verified. I wish people would just look up stuff for themselves and stop listening to what leaders got to tell you. They want you to believe something already. So go look it up and read on it yourself. Don't just go to the shade room and get your information. Don't just go to CNN and get the information. Go to other, alternate publications and go read different articles from different type of people. You know what I'm saying? There are people from other countries that do the research. They ain't got no dog in the fight. They from over there across the ocean somewhere. They just looking it up to know about it and teaching about it. There's YouTube channels and everything you can go and read up on this stuff. Like this is crazy. Go read up Thomas Sowell. Thomas Sowell. The man still living. He's a living legend. Go listen to what he had to say. I mean, this is like, it's so easily debunked what people are saying, but people don't want to do the research and to listen. So they'll listen to me and they just say they think I'm lying because of how I'm saying it or whatever. Misha said, "Thank you, sir." So there you have it. The black male was taken away from the household. It all goes back to system designed for blacks to fall. Bottom line, no, we can't continue to blame another race for everything. The reality is the black community has been in a falling state for a very long time, and some folks can't see a way out. I pray that we can get back to serving the true and living God. Yes, I hope we can too. I really hope we can. I think, and I really, to be real, Misha and anybody else watching this, I truly think it's disrespectful to blame things on racism and color and stuff. It's a disrespect to God, because God literally says that no weapon against you shall prosper, right? He literally talks about we don't wrestle against flesh and blood. We don't wrestle against this, right? It ain't about flesh and blood. It's about evil spirits. It's about evil in the world, right? So it's disrespectful for us to blame something that God gave us as far as our skin tone, complexion, color, and stuff, to blame that for reasons why we can't do certain things or why people are living a certain way is disrespectful to God to say that. All he did was give you the color of skin you got. And we're gonna blame that for our atrocities? Like, that's crazy. You know what I'm saying? That's crazy. Shout out to my bro, Jason. He gave me that little dime the other day. He mentioned that. He's like, man, it's disrespectful. It's disrespectful to God to blame racism for stuff and white supremacy and all that. I'm like, yeah, you're right. So shout out to him for that. That was a gem. Man, I don't know what people thought about that documentary. People thought about that documentary. Is the documentary what you thought it would be? Were you shocked? Were you appalled? Were you taken back? Or were you, hey man, this is normal life, have you been witnessing this for as long as you've been alive, or, you know, were you disgusted? I'm wondering what people thought about that documentary. I want to know how many of these activists gonna go clip up that video, that part I talked about, where the kid gets caught over there, and they talk asking the kid, is he on that? I want to know how many people gonna bring that up. I seen people talk about the video. I ain't seen nobody talk about that specific part. They talking about the whole racism part, colorism part, and this and that. But man, y'all be sure to hit that like. Hit that like. It don't take but a second. Hit the like. You know what I'm saying? You can share it. I would appreciate that as well. Share the video. All right, and definitely follow me, L Milliner. If you're not familiar with me, I mean, I'm from Montgomery. I grew up in Montgomery, from a child to a grown up. Went to MPS, K through 12. You know what I'm saying? So the stuff I'm talking about, I lived it. I've been through it. It's not something that I just am just interested in knowing about or whatever. Like, I've come from the environment, so I'm talking about things that I'm uniquely privy to. And we gotta make some changes. We gotta be honest though. We gotta keep it real, keep it 100, and quit lying about who's doing what and why is it happening. Adler said, the filmmaker said all buildings in Montgomery are boarded up. It was an embarrassment to see this video, and it will only cause others to move away from Montgomery. Yep. And he came from over here. He from across the water somewhere. He from the UK or something. You can tell by his accent. He's not even from America. You know what I'm saying? Not sure how long he been here, but he does this type of thing where he goes to different towns and cities and goes to the hoods and stuff, and does these documentaries. And he never been here before, I don't believe. And he's like, yo, like you said, the buildings are boarded up. He talked about it being the capital, and like it ain't too much like a capital, like how you would think it would be. He said it felt like he was 20 years in the past. We've been saying this stuff, man, and people call it, we hating and we being negative about the city, man. We just be keeping it real. Just keeping it real. People who, we discussed this at the summit too. We discussed this at the summit. The social, political, and economic summit at Grace Missionary Baptist Church. We had this discussion about the economy, and we were talking about the types of businesses and tourist destinations that we have here in the city, right? What do people come to Montgomery to do? Right? And what are people in the city that live here? What are we doing? Like, what are we able to do, like, recreationally? And I brought up that Montgomery is stuck, basically stuck. Most of our tourism places are based on civil rights and slavery. All right, follow me now, follow me. So because most of our venues for tourists are based on slavery and civil rights, it gives the perception to people that are outside the city of Montgomery, or maybe from another country or somewhere, it gives them the perception that we still hold that mentality to a certain level. Like, that's what it's telling them, right? Like, that's ingrained in us, that we're all about slavery and civil rights. We got how many museums now? We have like at least 4 museums. Got to be at least 4. We got Legacy Museum, EJI got like 2 of them, 2 or 3. I think they add more. We got the Rosa Parks Museum. There's other museums, and they're all focused on civil rights and slavery. But they tell us we want to be a city that's moving forward. How are we moving forward when we're stuck 50, 60 years in the past? We literally have every year that all these Democrat politicians and people, celebrities, come to Montgomery and Selma to commemorate the Bloody Sunday thing. And they all commemorate the Selma to Montgomery March. Right? And they come for these events every year. That tells people outside the city, that's all we about. That's all we got to give you. That's what we got to offer you. First and foremost, racism, white supremacy, we're you know what I'm saying, we're the home of all this stuff. That's what you're telling people. So like when I was in college, and that lady that I was in class with, and I told her, yeah, I'm from Alabama, and she was like, because she asked me, where you from, like Maryland or somewhere? I'm like, no, I'm from Alabama. She was like, well, you sound like you from like Maryland or like Pennsylvania or something like that. Like, no, from Alabama. And then she was like, I ain't never going to Alabama. This was a black girl, by the way. This was a black female. And she was like, I'm not going to Alabama. I'm like, why not? What's wrong with Alabama? Y'all stuck in the past. Y'all seem like y'all still got horses and buggies and stuff. That's what she was telling me. This was in 2000, like 8, 9, 10, something like that, when I was in college. That's what people think about us. People think that we're stuck in the past because all we have is the past to give people. And at a certain point, when are we going to let that go? Like, not saying you can't have a museum. Yeah, sure, you can have a museum. You can have 2 of them or whatever. But that can't be the draw. That can't be the draw to the city. You know what I'm saying? Now, we do have a couple other things that we got going on. We got the Montgomery Biscuits. Thank you, Bobby Bright. Appreciate you, Mayor Bright, back in 2003, all that, when y'all built the Biscuit Stadium. And people thought, what are y'all doing? We ain't gonna be able to fill the stadium up and stuff. Well, 20 years later, and the Montgomery Biscuits are still here, still thriving, still one of the best venues in the city of Montgomery. Truly, it is. It's one of the best venues. No problems, no extracurricular activities happening, just a family fun environment. One of the very few we got in the city of Montgomery. People be hating on it. I don't understand why. How you hating on something that's positive? Crazy. You know what I'm saying? We got the Camellia Bowl. They started that about 12 years ago or something. The Camellia Bowl. Now it's the Veterans Day Bowl or something like that. They changed the name of it. But we got that. We got the FCS kickoff game that we host in the city. We have a couple of things. We just built the $90 million, almost $100 million Montgomery Whitewater place. It's the right type of idea, in my opinion. I think it's a good idea to have that. I was wondering why we didn't have that back when I was in high school. I wonder, like, why we don't have some water park related. We got a river right here. Like, it just makes sense, but I don't know how well it's doing. It don't seem like it's doing too well, but you know. Adler said, I grew up in the 70s and 80s in Montgomery. My friends and I didn't care about skin color. We were just friends. When we saw Lee's Confederate flags, we didn't think about slavery. We thought they were rednecks. Yeah. Exactly. And truth be told, I'm gonna add this to what you said. Black folks are way safer around rednecks than other black folks. I'm gonna leave that there. Let's see. Benjamin and Desiree Ball said, I understand that people say there's nothing to do. That may be true. Let's play devil's advocate. Our people, Montgomeryans, go to Birmingham and ATL to get away and find something to do. But those places have high crime rate as well. And you can argue that their constituents have nothing else to do. Long story short, that's basically an excuse. But let's be honest though. Let's be honest for a second. All right. Let's be honest for a second. When people go to Birmingham to do things, are they going to Birmingham to do things, or are they going to the Birmingham metro area to do things? Right. Like, for example, people go to the Galleria in Birmingham. That's not in Birmingham. It's in Hoover. It's a whole nother city. You know what I'm saying? When you go to the Summit in Birmingham, that ain't in Birmingham. That's in what's that little town? Homewood or something? Whatever that little town is. Y'all know what the town is. The Summit, where all the shopping places are and all the fun things to do. You know what I'm saying? That's not in Birmingham. You know what I'm saying? What are people going to Birmingham for? Outside of maybe football game at the Protective Stadium? You know what I'm saying? But like, I don't know of a lot that's going on in Birmingham, to be honest with you, to do. I don't know what they're going there for that we ain't got in Montgomery. In Birmingham, I don't know. Now they go to the outskirts. Could they have more things to do? Like, we went and did Top Golf recently. My daughter's birthday. We went to Top Golf. That ain't in Birmingham. You know what I'm saying? It's outside Birmingham. You know what? I take that back. It is. It was by Protective Stadium. So in that same little area. Yeah, I'm wrong about that. So that's one thing. They got Protective Stadium, they got Top Golf, and then I will say they got the little what they call it, City Walk or something like that. Right there. They got like an ice cream shop we went to, and then they got like a little so like the interstate's above you, and under the interstate is a park. You know what I'm saying? It's a park. It's got swings and ping pong tables and picnic tables and stuff. So that's cool. That's cool. But people ain't going to Birmingham for that though. I don't think. But yeah, I see what you're saying. But I just don't think people are going to Birmingham like that, unless they want to get out of Montgomery because people know them in Montgomery. Maybe guys or ladies are leaving Montgomery to go to Birmingham or Atlanta because they don't know them up there. You know what I'm saying? That may be what that is. Not necessarily that they're doing something that they're not doing in Montgomery or they can't do in Montgomery. They just rather go somewhere else where people don't know them. Yeah, under the highway. Yep. That's cool. I ain't gonna lie. That was cool. I didn't know that. I didn't know they had that. And I saw their mayor Randall Woodfin just made a post talking about that little park I'm talking about underneath the highway, and he was like, basically, I guess there's issues. Of course, there's issues coming up. He was like, kids need to have adult supervision. If they don't have an adult, and if no adult comes to get the kid, they're gonna have Birmingham PD pick the kid up and go deal with them. You know what I'm saying? Because they have an issue. So, Birmingham in the same scenario we in. In Montgomery, they got the same thing. Like you said, it's the same crime. Atlanta, pretty much the same. Now Atlanta, I say, is different when it comes to things to do, right? Because you can go to Atlanta, the city, and they got plenty of things to do, right? But Atlanta is not, the rate of crime is not as high as Birmingham and Montgomery, though. Like, they're a bigger city and they're a bigger metro, so it looks like it's more dangerous or whatever. But when you look at the numbers, our numbers look worse than theirs, sadly. I just think we need to diversify in Montgomery. I just think we need to diversify. What we were bringing people into the city for. Like, what are they coming here to do? You know what I'm saying? It got to be more than just museums about slavery and civil rights and stuff. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Personally, I have not been to the Legacy Museum. I haven't even been there. You know what I'm saying? I might go one of these days just to see what it's like. I want to see like if it's gonna be a real true depiction of history. You know what I'm saying? I don't know how true it is, how true to life it is. You know, people say it's good though. But if they ain't depicting the real history, then I mean it's more of a propaganda tool. And see, that's what we got. We got a lot of propaganda tools going on in Montgomery too. People prop up certain things because they want it to be shown in a certain light. And so you don't get the real. You just get one side of how they want you to see it. History is very it's a lot of scenarios, a lot of people that's involved in these different acts that have happened, right? Like let's say slavery, for example. In America, the first legal slave owner in America was a black man. Let me say that again. The man who went to court to advocate for slavery in America was a black man. Let me say that one more time, because I don't think people hearing me. I don't think they heard me. I think they probably heard it. Like, I know he didn't say what I thought he said. Yeah. Let me say it again. The first slave owner in America, the first one that went to court and advocated for his right to own slaves was a black man. Black man, as people say. Yeah. It was in the 1600s. That's when that was. And then folks want to jump and they'll skip over that little tidbit. You know what I'm saying? That's a pretty major thing, right? But they'll skip over that and then say, "Oh man, white folks own slaves and da 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 da." It was black slave owners too. And people love to say, well, the black slave owners were they had their family as slaves because they didn't want, you know what I'm saying, they didn't want their family members to go to an evil white person and stuff like that. Okay, if you want to say that, then that would mean there was also white slave owners who also wanted to take care of some black people and didn't want them to go to evil slave owners too. So they would buy them and have them at their plantation where they could have them in a safer environment, right? You got to look at it both ways. You can't just say that only the black people were trying to be the saviors. You know what I'm saying? You can't do it like that, because there are white folks who was against slavery too. There's white people who were slave owners who didn't treat their slaves badly. That did exist, right? Most slave owners, period, are not just straight evil, killing off slaves, raping the women and all that stuff. Most of them weren't doing that. There was a select number of them, but not all of them, not even a majority. Right? That's like saying today that most people who are white are against black people. We know that ain't true. If that was true, then the people in Montgomery that's dying would be a lot more than would be dying from white people. And they're not. So we know that ain't true. You know what I'm saying? Folks just got to be honest and real and stop trying to play get along and try to agree with people just because, oh well, you know, they kind of got a point. You know, they kind of right though, because I mean, yeah, I know that in the video the black dude's like, hey man, they told the little black boy, come here. You know what I'm saying? I know they did that, but they didn't put no gun in his hand though. They might as well have. They called him over there and said, hey man, what you on that? You on that? Yeah, I'm on that. I'm on that smoking. Yeah. You might as well gave the little boy a gun and said, go smoke somebody then. It's the same mentality. But black folks gonna be like, man, well, but you know what I'm saying? They weren't saying all that though. You put words in their mouth. So what were they talking about then? When they talking about smoking on the, what were they talking about? When they said you own that, what does that mean? Making good grades? Going to school? Minding mama and daddy? Is that what they were talking about? No, I don't think so. I don't believe that's what that was. I think anybody that says otherwise is a fool. And I think you're a liar and the truth ain't in you. Because you know what they were talking about. And got the audacity to say the white man, white supremacy. Nowhere in the video. Nowhere in the video. You show me a killer, I'll show you a boy or a man that ain't got no dad. That's what it come down to. That's what it come down to. All right, I'm finna get off of here. Y'all have y'all a good rest of y'all day. Good rest of y'all day. All right, it's nice. It's a nice day. It feels pretty good. I ain't been outside in a little while. I've been on here for about almost about an hour and a half. Been on here longer than that, really. Doing some other videos too, but yeah, it's a nice day so far. Man, y'all got to enjoy it, man. Hope y'all at work, y'all do y'all thing. All right, we need people working. We need people being productive in this city. Oh, excuse me. The Eller said the violent crime in Birmingham is isolated and not widespread like Montgomery. Oh yeah. Oh yes, that is so true. That is so true. It's like that for a lot of cities like that. You know what I'm saying? Like Chicago, for example, is very isolated to certain areas, right? So everybody don't see the same level of violence and stuff. In Montgomery, it's like you said, it's widespread. It used to be isolated and consolidated to certain areas, right? To certain zip codes, for example. But now it's all over the place. You know what I'm saying? And that's, again, that was prior to Mayor Reed. Since Mayor Reed, now it's just all over the place. The crime everywhere. Man, thank y'all for watching. Y'all hit that like, share the video. All right. Follow the page, L Milliner, to get more of this great content and more of this truth and this real. All right. Because there ain't too many talking, giving y'all the real quite like this. Okay. And they not doing it quite like this. All right. So anyway, I do appreciate y'all. Again, if y'all want to send stars, which is to help, fund me, you can go underneath my videos, this video and other videos I do, which I do multiple videos every week. You can give 1 star. 1 star is 1 penny. So if you give 100 stars, that's $1. All right. I do appreciate it. Adrian said, I think it's the same people from the same area committing the crime in other areas. Yeah. And here's the thing about that. They're leaving, whereas 10 years ago, people would have been more afraid to go out of their comfort zone of where they commit crimes. They would be scared to go to East Chase. They would be scared to go down to Eastern Boulevard somewhere and commit crimes. Now, they ain't fearing nothing now. Because they know police ain't going to be out there like that. They going wherever they want to go and commit crimes. Yeah, that's for sure. In general, the Pike Road side of Montgomery is quiet over there. People come over here to do their dirt. So here's the thing about that. The Pike Road side of Montgomery, so you talking about like Vaughn Roadish, Taylor Roadish, right? People are starting to go over there as well. See, the issue is they know police are not out and about in strong numbers. Anytime you don't have police in strong numbers where they're visible in the community, criminals are going to do crimes. That's just how it works. Less police, more crime. More police, less crime. That's how it works. So they understand this as criminals, and so which is why the Dollar General over there off Taylor Road and Malcolm Drive, back when I was working for DG, that store got robbed. It was that I had never heard that store getting robbed before until it was like 2020, 2021 or something like that. It got robbed. You know what I'm saying? So the Pike Road store got robbed. The Dollar General right there got robbed. Y'all remember that? It was a matter of fact, it was either the same day or the next day. The other, so I think like the same person robbed both locations. But Pike Road got robbed. You know what I'm saying? So people are starting to matriculate to other parts, other areas that they otherwise wouldn't go to commit crimes, to rob banks and such. So, you know what I'm saying? It's they understand. Criminals know. Criminals know who where the police are and all that stuff. The people who are committing the crimes are from the west and north, barely, and troublemakers over there. Barely any troublemakers over there. The low income areas is where all the riffraff is coming from. Yeah, I would say majority of it for sure. Majority of it for sure. But you'd be surprised at how many of them kids come from halfway decent neighborhoods. You know what I'm saying? I know plenty of them that came up in better environment than I came up in, and they was out here wilding. As the kids say, they say wilding. They was wilding. And they from Halcyon and what's the other neighborhoods, man? Brighton State. Well, back in the day, Brighton State, it was better than it is now. Yeah, Bellwood and stuff. Like people would think about them neighborhoods. They're like, man, them good neighborhoods. Man, there's some kids from out there wilding, boy. I'm telling y'all. But yeah, to your point though, mostly from the worst areas though. Yeah, and they go on wherever they want to go now. Commit crime. That's why y'all got to keep that thing on you. Keep that thing on you, and don't be scared to use it. All right, appreciate y'all for being here. I'm about to get off here for real this time. I'll see y'all next go around, man. Love y'all. Take care. Be blessed. Until next time, I am gone.